Tomorrow, Austin City Council could sign off on its budget and set a property tax rate that, because of state law, ultimately triggers an election in November. There are new proposals on the table as late as tonight over how much the city should ask voters for in that tax rate election and what services should be funded. The latest coming from a group of council members, including Ryan Alter.
We have recently put forward a proposal supported by at least 5 council members that funds homelessness, funds affordable housing, funds social services, and allows for a further conversation on refining that for an ultimate budget adoption.
And heading into tomorrow, the city has to decide which proposal it will use as its base so far. Most of those proposals sit at 5 cents per $100 of value, which for voters only means that you could pay hundreds more in property taxes next year. It's not a given. Austin City Council member Mark Duchin has indicated he will vote no on a tax rate election, and Mayor Kirk Watson has told us that he will only support a proposal that funds, quote, core basic services. So as you might imagine, there has been a lot of disagreement and debate at City Hall over this, specifically what core services need to be funded. As KXAN's Grace Reeder explains, one of the only services that won't be up for much debate tomorrow is homelessness.
I became homeless after I lost my husband.
People who have been or are homeless are urging the city of Austin to prioritize that issue as it votes on its budget this week.
It's people that's out here that's trying to get back on their feet, and we should have the services that we need to get back on our feet.
Earlier this year, the city's Homeless Strategy Office released a funding plan to be worked into this year's budget process. They identified more than $100 million in needs, a third of that to continue existing programs that have previously been paid for with one-time funding, a third for new investments, and the final third for working with partners.
But we haven't funded it. And so what I really want us to prioritize and what I want to see a real emphasis on is, now that we have the plan, let's use that plan. Let's fund that plan.
As city leaders consider raising property taxes to a point that would trigger a tax rate election, that sentiment is nearly universal among city council members.
We know that as a city, we need to do more to address homelessness, and we want to invest in the entire system. That's preventing people from becoming homeless all the way to supportive housing on the back end.
If Austin leaders do ask voters for more money in November, it's very likely to, in part, go toward things like emergency shelter operations, including keeping the Marshalling Yard homeless shelter running and doing more outreach.
When it comes to the TRE, there are folks who call it regressive. But in Austin, I believe that caring for each other is a strength and not a weakness.
Grace Reeder, KXAN News.
Austin City Council member Mark Duchin was the only council member who did not have homelessness funding in his proposal. He pointed to other cities like Houston that paid for those services using outside dollars.